We, the citizens of the United States of America, having lived and acted in good faith with our federal government since its inception, as partners in prosperity, as described in our country's Bill of Rights and United States Constitution, hereby declare our former partner in prosperity, namely the federal government of the United States of America, to be in irreconcilable breach of contract with us, and that our aforementioned partnership is therefore dissolved. The federal government of the United States of America, having acted treasonously against the citizens of the United States of America by looting the public treasury for its own illegal purposes, including the killing of foreigners abroad under false flag pretenses, engaging in behavior considered illegal within the borders of the United States of America, growing and distribution of drugs such as opium and cocaine and others, sales of weapons to factions considered to be enemies of the United States of America in order to manipulate policy and control various resources of other sovereign nations, and the unauthorized enrichment of its individual employees amounting to criminal malfeasance, and most importantly, the covering up of its own illegal acts by withholding evidence from the public, will no longer enjoy a position of relevance or authority. Any federal government instituted and recognized in the future must be ratified under a new federal constitution by each state and province collectively comprising the United States of America. Furthermore, until ratification of a new federal government has come to pass, each individual state within the United States of America and similarly each province and annex, shall hereafter be considered individually sovereign within the borders of each state, province and annex, and shall be individually responsible for the safety and governance of those within its borders. Effective immediately, all contracts between the former federal government of the United States of America and any other party, including individuals, entities, corporations and states, is hereby null and void, due to treasonous breach of contract between the federal government and the citizenry it had governed, and all federal prisoners must be remanded immediately to the jurisdiction of whichever state borders they are imprisoned within, and each state shall therefore have sole jurisdiction and discretion in each individual case. All military weaponry and material shall forthwith immediately become the property of whichever state said implements and property is currently located at, and in cases where weapons and material is either aloft, afloat or otherwise beyond a particular fixed location within a state, such shall become the property of whichever state first receives said weapons and material upon landing or docking. Military personnel formerly known as federal employees or subject to federal supervision and control shall now be considered the military personnel of whichever state such personnel chooses to consider his or her primary state of residence, as determined by the aforementioned individual formerly under federal employ and control, and said individual personnel will henceforth be considered as a free agent. We, the undersigned citizens of the United States of America, attest that the entity formerly known as the federal government of the United States of America no longer exists except as a criminal entity, and therefore, lest we become considered complicit criminal conspirators, declare that henceforth the aforementioned federal government of the United States of America no longer governs us.